This is the greatest mini the world has ever seen. Sorry, I'm getting emotional. Paper. Pence, £4. Jeez, let's sketch some minis. We're doing this because a cheeky young man known as DangerCloseMINIS sketched this amazing image of a quail in power armour. And that unnatural level of talent rustled my jimmies. It's time to commit to an idea, no, a dream that I've been having every night for the last 200 years. To create an entire army of custom miniatures, the greatest miniatures the world has ever seen. Yes. Hey, trust the process. Right, zip it. Just give it a rest. Now you stay there whilst I draw you. So what do we want in the perfect miniature? Good strong texture. Easy to dry brush. Bold facial details. Big eyes, so they're easy to paint. And a mighty weapon, of course. Feet check.
Not great or terrible.
Oh, he needs a shield. Built by the finest crafters in the Quail Kingdom. What do we reckon? Looks like his parents could be a little bit related, but he's not bad. The first member of the Quail Guard. They'll be the standard troops in this army. Yeah, a whole army to sketch. Oh, God! So, you know when an incubation doesn't quite go right and the egg still hatches, but the creature inside is a bit off. Maybe it was too hot, too cold, or maybe it didn't position itself in the egg correctly before hatching, and they spawn with a leg on the back of their head or something like that. We'll have a few of those. Call them bad hatches. Imagine an ogre gorger crossed with a quail. Now we need a piece of siege equipment. What do we think? A ballista? Nope. Trebuchet? Nope. Catapult? No. Oh, an eggapult. Oh, she's beautiful. Be happy I went with this option and not the rear end cannons. Yeah, that's you, dude. Like looking in a mirror. See, he has legs like you do. There aren't enough miniatures with flails. These are the veteran infantry, the quail that survive beyond 2 years old. Time for the hero unit, the King Quail. It went through many iterations before it ended up here in this bucket of seeds on wheels. Now, I know what you're thinking, that looks like a child has drawn it, but at the same time, that is going to be the greatest miniature the world has ever seen. And you'd be correct, except for one other. Tiny Tom. You might not like it, but that is what the peak quail athletic form looks like, and there ain't a flipping thing you can do about it. Oh, my neighbour's watching me. She'll get over it. I'd better put some clothes on. So we have the sketches. Phase 2, we have to turn them into 3D printable files. With MESHY. Now, I wanted to see if I could get some 3D sculptors involved, but that's a different story. I did find one living legend though, more on that shortly. In the meantime, I'll have to do it myself. Spoiler alert, I can't use Blender because I'm a sane human being, but this is going to force me to learn at least a bit of it. You see, MESHY is able to take an image, in this case my professional original concept art for a quail guard, upload it. We scroll down to generate. I'm using a pro account with MESHY 6, but you can use a free account which lets you use MESHY 5. Wait patiently, and pop goes the weasel. We have a 3D file of our miniature. Mind-blowing, really. Let's check the rear, make sure we have no extra limbs in peculiar places. Not bad at all. Now we just need to do the rest. The hell is that? What is going on there? Thankfully, we get 4 free retries. Nailed it. Why have we got 2 tails? What are you guys doing? Alright, this is a new feature. Watch this. Ready? Oh, the agony. Can split it into parts. Put on the plate. Brilliant. Then we download it in whatever format we want. Word document. Don't be a smartass. Then we open them up in Blender. And I put my 7 seconds of Blender experience to use. No, but really, I learned so much doing this. It's way better than starting with a grey block. It's like reverse engineering alien technology. Some of these took a ton of work. Then it's over to the slicer. This one is HALOT box. Its auto supports are pretty good, and because the HALOT X1 printer has reduced peel forces compared with some conventional printers, you can get away with tiny supports. Look at me, I'm the Games Workshop now. Cook them in the blazing sun. Bases for everyone. What happened here? Did I forget a base? After all that, I forgot one base! Oh no, hold on, I'm just being a special boy. I printed one too many quail. Finally, we get to see them all on their bases, standing tall. Except this guy. I accidentally dropped him and his foot disappeared. So, quick repair. Take this toothpick, cut a bit off the end. Even better than before. There he is. Stay strong, brother. Back to the king for a moment. Now, I mentioned earlier wanting to get a sculptor involved, and this seemed like a brilliant opportunity. It just so happened that the stars aligned, and through Discord I met a legendary individual. STL-Terrain on MYMINIFACTORY. Specialising in making base toppers for armies, I asked if he could create a base topper for our king quail. Initially, he was like, what? But then he obliged and we set about designing a stupendous rocky road. And he sculpted this beauty. To see his other work, links in the description, MYMINIFACTORY for the digital files and Etsy for the physical versions. We've also been given these generous discount codes. Go and give them a go. Do it soon though, the MYMINIFACTORY code expires on the 3rd of August. Let's paint these bird boys. Black primer first. Then, white from above. Let's check the reference photo. We'll have to do some of these dark speckles, then match this gradient. Simple, like a quail. Gallery's Kaleido paints making my life easier. This project was a good idea until I started. Need to make the Bad Hatch's head look swollen, so we'll go with purple and then blend it back in. One of my favourite green stuff paints, Scorched Wood. Almost done. Yeah, we'll do a giveaway at the end, it's the least you deserve. As long as you're subscribed, that is. Almost done. Excuse me, dudes, we got beaks to paint. We need some Agrax Earthshade. Dilute it down, we don't want it to be too extreme on the pale feathers. Finally get to enjoy painting some big eyes for once. Now, my STL-Terrain buddy didn't have time to sculpt bases for all of these miniatures, so we're going to have to bootleg the other ones. We need to make some cobblestones. Milliput! Make a worm, let it set for a short time, then pop it on a flat surface. We need to roughly square it off, so we'll put a small amount of pressure on one side. Pretend that worked. Then the other side. Slice the sausage, and there we go. Cobblestones fit for a king. Or his accomplices. To blend them in, we'll apply some PVA, then dip it in the sand. Once that's painted and dried, we'll add some more patches of PVA. The timeless classic of sand and static grass is about to get a bonus quail component. Make way for my favourite tool, ye old blender. Now, this little fella belonged to a Patreon who cancelled their membership, so when were you going to look away? What's wrong with you? No, we need some coconut fibre, stolen from a nearby unattended planter. This idea actually came from the fellow who runs the Etsy store with the base toppers. You little genius. What's going on in there? Couldn't have been more perfect. This is the greatest mini the world has ever seen. Sorry, I'm getting emotional. Let's finish this contraption with some twine. One end attached to the pouch with the egg in it, and the other over his shoulder. Now, last but not least, we need to add a little bit more chaos to the base of this runaway bird brain. We decided during the design process for this base topper to have a pothole that I was going to fill with water effects. More specifically, a splash. So I'm going to squirt some UV resin onto this baking paper, drag it around a bit, and then set it. Then, when we peel it off, cut it to the right length. It should look like splashing water as the wheel passes through it. This has certainly been a journey. It's taken a ton of time. Sketching 30 unique miniatures is not a joke, but there's nothing stopping you from doing the same. Check the description for the links to MESHY, also MYMINIFACTORY and Etsy for a spicy selection of base toppers. Don't forget the discount codes, they're down there as well. I have a spare to give away, so stick around until the end and you could win your own King Quail. Now get your pencil and paper and go forth to create the greatest miniatures the world has ever seen. If you'd like to get your hands on these miniatures, then head on over to Patreon. More info in the description. The rules will be there soon as well, so you can use them in one-page rules. As for the giveaway, subscribe, then leave a comment. In 5 days' time, I'm going to pick my favourite one and I'll send you a King Quail. That's alright, isn't it? Like the video, love you all, thank you, goodbye.